I'd like to welcome you, your host for this evening, IAAF President Sebastian Coe, to make the opening address. Please, Seb.
Why are we here? Well, for me, this is actually quite personal. When we are asked by young athletes about our sports, about our careers, there is one regular question, and I know Mutaz will agree with me sitting there. What is it that's going to make me a great high jumper? What is it that's going to make me a great 800-meter runner or a steeplechaser or a hammer thrower? And normally, they are sitting there expecting me to talk about the angle of entry into a high jump pit or the aerobic thresholds in middle distance, and I'm sure that if Mutaz was asked that question, they are expecting him to talk about technicalities. And actually, the answer doesn't lie in that. It ultimately does, because that's what every athlete has to do to become masters of their performance. But the most important answer I give is become historians. Become students of your sport. Understand who came before you. Because if you understand who came before you, the adversity, the challenges, and I'm seeing an array of some of the most extraordinarily gifted athletes in front of me. I'm looking straight at one of my heroes, Lasse Viren, who inspired me to perform and compete at an Olympic Games. Double Olympic champion from Munich, double Olympic champion from Montreal. And these are the people that got me into the sport. We want to encourage and excite young people to see that history is not something that they just need to read about. It's not something to dust down and cherish only for its irrelevance. It is living, it is breathing, and it is my instinct what drags people into the sport, to understand what came before them. So everything in there tonight, I hope you enjoy. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Daflan. Thank you, everybody, for being here this evening and just for celebrating a little bit more of that journey, that it's the gift that keeps giving. That is what athletics is. It's the gift that keeps giving. And this is just a small demonstration of that gift. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Seb. I'd like to ask Dalan El-Ahmad, on behalf of the LOC, as the Director General of the Local Organising Committee of Doha 2019, and of course IAAF Vice President, to say the official welcome on behalf of the local organisers. Thank you, please, Dalan.
The exhibition will trace the history of 3,000 years athletic history, while also will tell the story of the World Athletics Championship set to grace our nation this September for the first time in history of Qatar and Middle East. Along with the text, photographic and video displays, this exhibition has a collection of athletics memorabilia from around the world, dating from 2nd century BC to present day. Our very own town team, Qatar athletes Mu'taz Barsham and Abdurrahman Samba, have donated to this IAAF Heritage Collection. We hope this exhibition will be a part of our legacy as we host the first ever IAAF World Athletics Championship in the Middle East.
This is the moment we begin to add a few more items to our collection. As already said, they said 5 great champions here, but actually we've got 6 great global champions here, and we'll come to that in a moment. But in chronological order, I'd first like to welcome Finland's 4-time Olympic champion at the 5,000 and 10,000 meters. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lasse Viren. And always by Lasse's side is Päivi, Lasse's wife. Now, what a lot of people forget, Lasse, is as well as your 4 Olympic track victories, one day after running that 5,000 meters. And we're talking about an era where they had heats for the 10,000 meters. So he's had heats for the 10,000 meters, run the 10,000 meters final, run the heats of the 5, and then run the final of the 5,000 meters. What do? You step and decide to run the marathon the following day in Montreal. And I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, it was your first ever marathon. For me, anyway, that puts you on absolutely the level of Emil. Do you understand exactly the feat that you achieved?
Kyllä mä sen ymmärsin, mihin mä olen ryhtynyt ja valmentajan kanssa sovittiin etukäteen. No, sitten kun juoksua meni, niin seurasin Frank Sorteria pitkälle, mutta 35 kilometrin johtaa voimat loppua ja oli liian vähän aikaa 5000 metrin palautumisesta.
I understood what I was going to do, and I had a plan done with my coach, but it was less than 24 hours after 5,000 meter final, so I followed Frank Shorter as long as I could, but then around 35 kilometers I noticed that I simply didn't have any more energy left, and I was 5th.
And the amazing thing is tonight, Lasse, you've made the very generous donation of your shoes, which you ran in for that marathon in Montreal. Now, two-time 1,500 meters Olympic champion, but different circumstances, Moscow to Los Angeles, the different background to those races. We've talked about this collection, but I perhaps believe that during the height of your career, when you were racing some of the great champions and record breakers, you never possibly imagined that your kit, we have also Seb's running vest from Los Angeles on display here, that your kit and your spikes would be sat alongside Jesse Owens, Fanny Blankers-Koen, Emil Zatopek and Pavel Nurmi. How your thought as a historian, let alone personally, how your thoughts?
No, I'm very flattered. Actually, given what they achieved and the era in which they achieved it, I think those are bigger performances. So I'm very flattered to even be on that same list because they are absolute giants of our sport.
The 1991 World 10,000 meters champion and the 1992 World Half Marathon champion, a certain Liz McColgan. Please, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure there's no perfect race, but did Tokyo come as close to that?
I think for me, Tokyo was it was the icing on the cake, really, because in 88 I came second in the Seoul Olympics, and I was really disappointed, and I put a lot of work into it, and I realised that I was quite a bit away from what I needed to do to actually win the gold. So I took myself off for 2 years. Obviously I'm from Scotland, and I based myself in America because I knew in Tokyo it was going to be really hot and really humid, and I took myself off on my own with my husband, and we prepared for 2 years for Tokyo. So I was determined that I was going to get the gold there, and I think in the race you could actually see it was probably one of the hottest and most humid days for doing an endurance event, and I led from start to finish. So I really dedicated 2 years of my life just to get that gold. And there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes, and it's not easy to be a winner. It's not just an overnight sensation. There's a lot of many hard years behind you, and so for me Tokyo was probably one of the toughest preparations that I ever had to go through to win a medal.
we now come to the most bemedalled athlete which we have here this evening. This young lady has won the 2 Olympic titles and 3 World Championship titles, and without trying to prejudge a court case at the moment, that might become 4 world titles. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Anita Włodarczyk of Poland. Welcome, welcome. You are also a legend. Already, you are a legend.
Good evening. Yes, I am happy because I am first woman in the world. I throw first time in history 18 meters in hammer. I have motivation for next the title for Doha and next Olympic Games in Tokyo.
Please can I welcome Ademaram Samba and Mutez Asabashim up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Seb knows about this, all of our guests know about this. When you come to a major championship, but particularly on home soil, that brings a bit of pressure with it. The expectation for people. I've seen the newspapers, I've seen the television here. We haven't exactly helped you by putting posters of both of you all around the biggest shopping mall in Qatar. But as Seb will know, and all the rest of the guests will know, you can find a way of changing that pressure into energy. Can I ask you both, how are you finding the pressure and how are you transforming that into energy?
طبعا بطولة العالم في الدوحة حتكون طبعا مثابة التحدي لعبد الرحمن صبة، لأنها حتكون في الدوحة، وطبعا إن شاء الله نكون مستعدين لبطولة العالم لأنها حتكون يعني الهدف الكبير والحلم أول بطولة عالم في الشرق الأوسط، وإن شاء الله نكون جاهزين لهذه البطولة، والحمد لله قد بدينا الموسم ب 44-60 برقم جديد، وإن شاء الله نحاول نواصل لنهاية الموسم بإذن الله.
Yeah, he's really excited that's gonna be home in Doha, and he's looking forward to it, and preparation going well, and he's really happy about that. And it's the first championship in the middle and like the MENA in the area, and he's really hoping for that maybe I'll get one. Yeah.
Now how are you dealing with this the pressure aspect?
First of all, I will also talk about that the World Championship is going to be home in Doha. I'm really happy, and I think it's a very good opportunity. We're very fortunate to have it home. Not every athlete got to experience the World Championship in his home soil. I know that my people, my family, and everybody going to be there, so that's something really big for me. And I hope I will be fit, and not just fit, because it's home. Being fit, winning, I don't think it's enough. So we need to do something like extraordinary. And as Mr. Dahlan mentioned before, we need to inspire the youth, the people that are going to come after us. Speaking about pressure, definitely it's going to be a whole lot of pressure, but thank God that we need this kind of pressure just to perform well. Like, I rather have this so much pressure that's going to push me to a new height, to a very high performances, and they are giving us a whole lot of it. So, and I'm taking this one and hopefully trying to positive energy and push it out there in the right way.
I'm now going to count you down in true athletic style. On your marks, set, cut. Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, please, our champions, Lasse Viren, McColgan, Anita Włodarczyk, Samba, and of course Mutaz Barshim, and one other little champion, our own Sebastian Coe. Dalan, thank you very much as well.